This is the first one I ever had, 1976 Penthouse. And it was in the back of that magazine that I found out about certain sexual objects that I eventually tried to obtain myself.
Well, what was that object?
It was a love doll.
Of course, I wasn't old enough to buy a magazine, so I asked my oldest brother if he wouldn't mind. He was going to buy some cigarettes, and I said, "Oh, can you get me this magazine called High Society?" And he got the magazine for me, walks into the house, he goes, "Here you go," and then walks right into the living room to tell my father.
So I thought about it for a day, and the next day, right after school, I hopped on Metro North and went down to the Pink Pussycat Boutique to get myself one of these love dolls.
I was going to be confirmed, and what happens is you have to be interviewed by the priest, and he kind of tests your knowledge of sin.
What if somebody takes a picture of me going into this place or coming out of this place? Like, I was completely a jumble of nerves, had no idea what I was going to do.
They went through, the normal stuff. If you steal something, thou shalt not steal. And then, he said, if you have premarital sex, well, I took a shot and I said, well, adultery.
It was like something out of nothing I've ever seen, growing up in Westchester. This was like, they had these leather bras and studded things in the window. I was completely repulsed and turned on. It was the strangest feeling I've ever had in my life.
And then he said masturbation. And I was like, what? Because up to that point I felt pretty self-righteous. I was like, I haven't done any of these sins at all. One of them I would like to, but it didn't. But this one I did in abundance.
Next thing I know, she grabs one off the shelf, puts it down right in front of me, and right on the box it says, like, Claudia. Hi, I'm Claudia.
I'd stare in the mirror in the bathroom, and I was like looking for something to use again. So I was like, shaving cream. That sounds logical, So I sprayed some on, and it was menthol. So it was like it started like burning a little, and then I was like started in, and then I just like caught myself in the mirror, like look at you, look at you, like what a waste, what a reject you are, And I stopped, and I was like disgusted, and I washed off, and I never tried shaving cream again.
And this woman is like crunched up in the box. I mean, it was the damnedest thing I ever saw.
I hung out in the library during my lunch hour, and I stayed in those little cubicles and didn't want anyone to look at me, and I was just completely terrified. And I used to arrange my schedule so I could get home in time to watch reruns of Gilligan's Island, because Ginger was my woman of choice.
But it was big. It was a fairly big box. And I said to myself, I can't buy this because I'm never going to get this on Metro North.
And he said, well, it's also adultery. I mean, you're committing adultery against the woman you will marry. And I said, my God, I'm going to hell.
And I'm just staring at this thing. I mean, because it's honestly one of the grossest things that I've ever seen in my life. And I'm staring at it, and I'm overwhelmed with guilt. I feel like I've maybe sold my soul to the devil.
I'm a complete lech. Completely, I've never gotten over a beautiful woman. I will still like the girls right outside right there. It's just like everyone's like, yeah, they're pretty, but they're pretty. I still.
And then I kind of drifted from the church from that point on.
I used to use a Gree conditioner in the shower to help along.
It was between, Penthouse or Jesus.
And then that fragrant smell came up during class.
That sequin outfit that Ginger would wear was just...
I get myself one of these love dolls.
I mean, it was every kid's dream.
At least I could experience what everybody's talking about.
I was an expert. I once did it 17 times in one day.